Oh, okay, waking up to huge news. Dozens of climate scientists admit that global warming is a hoax. There's been a huge conspiracy around it for decades. It is a good clickbait title. Um, so I'll use that for my video. It's also true, actually. There is a huge conspiracy around global warming. So we got to talk about that right away. I realized that uh, I gotta talk faster. I gotta keep my videos under 5 minutes, 8 minutes, no more than. So I'm gonna keep go as fast as I can. Um, there is a debate. The debate is that whether climate change is real, man-made, and a problem. And there is a conspiracy. The conspiracy was that is that a debate? Um, so the conspiracy is that was never a debate that among scientists. All scientists, atmospheric, climate scientists, earth scientists, they all had consensus that we are increasing the amount of greenhouse gas in the atmosphere since the beginning of the industrial revolution at a massive rate, um, and it's definitely causing damage and definitely warming the planet. In some places, it's cooling because the planet's a very complex system. Different things happen in different places. Sometimes cold. You'll get a cold winter, and you'll hear people be like, "Oh, climate change, eh?" Okay, so or global warming. Um, it's called climate change because the climate is changing. The Earth is warming. When you average temperatures across the entire globe, you see how the Earth is warming at temperatures around a degree and a half, 2 degrees. This is actually a big deal. The conspiracy is that um, a lot of people make money up, uh, through the oil industry and through the automotive industry, and they need people to continue to put gas in their vehicles. They need people to continue to use oil to heat their homes. They need us to continue to burn fossil fuels, to turn turbines, to produce energy. Um, we keep need we They need us to continue to use fossil fuels in order for them to keep making money. So the rich billionaires um, also own all of the mainstream media. We can agree on that. So mainstream media is basically propaganda. Um, YouTube is um, also very heavily influenced by right wing money. And so there's a lot of money going into right wing YouTubers who also promote crazy conspiracy theories. Among one of the most important being that there's a climate change debate when there never was a debate. It was always a consensus. It's been known for 40 years definitively that we are warming the planet. It's been known for 20 years by most of the public that it's a very serious problem, and it's caused by human industrial processes. We know that because measurements of the concentration of carbon dioxide before the Industrial Revolution were at 270 parts per million. That's a measurement of a concentration of the gas in the atmosphere. It is now, as of February 2020, at 415 parts per million. So that's an increase of 40% over less than 200 years. There are people out there that say the Earth was a lot warmer, the Earth had a lot more CO2 in the atmosphere 10 million, 100 million, whatever, however long ago. So no biggie, doesn't matter, not a problem. Actually, yeah, it is a biggie. The biggie is that the rate of change, the amount of CO2 that was much higher 100 million years ago, or whatever dates you're looking at, the rate of change to a different amount of concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is over geological periods of time. That's tens of millions of years, hundreds of millions of years, right? We're doing this under 200 years, increase in a major greenhouse gas, an increase of 40%. So obviously, because we all went to primary school, most of us, I'm sorry to say if we all did, we learned about greenhouse gases and the greenhouse effect and why we have an atmosphere and that we have heat trapping gases, including water vapor, methane, carbon dioxide, and a few others, that keep the earth warm because we have an atmosphere. That's a good thing. That allows for pleasant climates around the globe for most of it, except for the extreme polar. We've got decent living conditions, and we've got a nice sort of seasonal cycle, and we have all of these natural cycles of carbon dioxide fluctuation, but again, we need to emphasize the rate. Natural systems cannot keep up with a rate of change that is so rapid. The migration of different plant species, of tree species, of animal species cannot keep up with the change in temperature, especially in the ocean. Sea level rise, changing temperatures of the sea, coral reefs, they cannot keep up with those changes. Coral reefs are dying off. Coral reefs are hotbeds of oceanic floral and fauna activity. That's where all of much of aquatic life gathers. Once we destroy that, we destroy entire food chains. We're destroying the ocean at unprecedented scale. We rely heavily on the ocean, especially for food resources. It's indisputable that we have increased the amount of CO2 at a rate never seen before. I mean, maybe it has been seen before, but that was like when the meteor hit the Earth during the KT impact and wiped out 80% of the species on the planet. So it's comparable to a meteor impact, you could say, like the rate of change of carbon dioxide. So you were right about the conspiracy theory, but you got it flipped. You were wrong about what the theory was. The theory was that billionaires spent billions of dollars to use their influence over mainstream media, which has its influence over the public, to plant the seeds of doubt whether climate change exists, whether it's human caused, and if it's a problem. Yes, it exists. It's caused by humans. It's a huge problem. It's an existential problem. We haven't done fuck all about it in decades because of a conspiracy theory of billionaires saying that it's not a problem. So next time you are talking about your conspiracy theories, ask yourself this one question. Does my belief in this conspiracy theory benefit the majority of people on Earth, the 99% that live mostly in poverty, or does my belief in this benefit billionaires? If it benefits billionaires, it's probably a false conspiracy theory.